be a major shakeup on Capitol Hill this November after Kentucky voters ended Thomas Massie's 12-year run in Congress.
The Republican decisively lost to Ed Gallrein in a primary bid for re-election. Edward Smith breaks down the results of the historic race, and we look ahead to the general election. Edward?
In a sizable win over Thomas Massie, Ed Gallrein swept through 19 of the 21 counties in the 4th Congressional District. In 7 counties, Gallrein's lead was more than 60%. Massie did hold on to 2 counties, one of them Lewis County, where he's from. He won that county by over 25 points. Both candidates reacted to the results as the attention now shifts to the general election.
We ran a race that you can be proud of.
In a lengthy 30-minute concession speech, Thomas Massie shook off the loss. The congressman stayed mostly positive, at times seemingly having fun with a rowdy crowd. He touted his push to release the Epstein files, hinting there's more to come in the final days of his time in office.
I got 7 months left in Congress.
The race's outcome, a powerful testament to the president's power to oust dissenting Republicans. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson reacting today.
The president has the strongest endorsement in the history of politics, as I mentioned. You have to give up on some of your personal preferences sometimes because you're in a deliberative body and you have 434 colleagues.
Now my focus is on advancing the president's and the party's agenda to put America first and Kentucky always.
In a brief message, Gallrein thanked his supporters for electing him during what he calls a critical time in the nation's history.
I entered as a Navy SEAL officer in 1983 because I had the audacity to think I could make a difference, and I did. I will serve this district, my party, and my nation with that same audacity.
Gallrein now faces Democratic nominee Melissa Strange in the general election. I spoke with her about the race.
He's going to do whatever Trump tells him he wants him to do. And I don't know that that's really what, at least when I talk to people, that's really what people are looking for right now.
Strange believes she can flip the seat blue for the first time since 2005 with the help of independents who've broken with Trump and disgruntled Massie supporters.
When you start adding those numbers together, I definitely think there's opportunity to be able to say, hey, do we really want more of this, or do we want somebody there who's going to challenge him?
And though this was a big loss for Massie, he still seemed pretty optimistic last night about his political future. He pointed to the amount of support he's received from younger generations. He also responded to chants from the crowd for him to run for president, saying, quote, "We'll talk about it later."
Edward, there are some people calling for Massie now to run as an independent in the general election. Is that even possible?
No, and that's because state law prevents candidates who've lost in primaries from running in the general election that immediately follows. So at least for this election, he has no more options to keep his seat.